right, hello friends. I'm live from New York. I'm gonna supplement this news video with shots of me doing things around the city. Not too much. I didn't record at all the places I went due to the fact that I am on a business trip. So at times I was with others at some event. I went to the J.P. Morgan Museum. I went to the Kennedy Museum. I went to the Natural History Museum. I went to the Yankees game, which don't get me started on how upset I was about getting hoop organization my own money, but I got to see all the stadiums I can when I travel. I'm across the street from Madison Square Garden, where the New York Rangers play, as well as I believe the New York Liberty, the WNBA team. I've seen a lot of cool stuff here. I've had a lot of good coffee, pizza, you name it. But yeah, I wanted to jump in because it's been a while since I've done a news video, and today's got a lot of news. Like I've been wanting to talk about some of these stories for a long time. Some of them are a little bit heavier, so I'm going to start off with a happy one, being that John Oliver, a national television host, last week tonight with John Oliver is a satirical news show that covers a lot of really amazing topics through a comedy lens. He is a very well spoken and very well read gentleman that does a lot of amazing news coverage, but puts that comedy twist on it. He held a contest to try to overhaul a minor league baseball team, and one of our teams, one of the minor league teams of the Detroit Tigers, actually ends up winning it, that being the Lake Erie Seawolves. It's really cool to see this. He wants to help with things like promotions, getting people inside of the doors, and I think that's a really cool way to see it. So I'm really excited to see what ideas he has. This is our AA affiliate. I've never been to a Lake Erie Seawolves game. I would love to go to one, but it's quite a distance for us. But nonetheless, it's gonna be really cool to see what type of things come out of this, and who knows if they make a really cool custom jersey or hat. I'll probably jump on that and grab one for myself because it's a super really cool, awesome way to do that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And on the same vein, this one's not new, but it's new-ish. It's the past few months. The MLB, the Major League Baseball, has decided to partner up with the AUSL, which is a women's softball league that is pretty much a professional league in terms of coverage and signing contracts. The MLB's partnership, they now own a stake in this league, which will allow them to offer them funding and other things of this nature, which is really, really awesome to see. This is kind of like the NBA did with the WNBA. This is just, MLB's version of doing this. So it's super cool to see, and I'm really excited to see the growth of one of the sports I love the most. So if you're, somebody who likes baseball or somebody who likes softball, I highly suggest checking this league out because it's only going to grow from here. It was started as kind of like a niche following of softball fans, and now it's going to just, exponentially rise due to this. So I would highly suggest checking that out if you're somebody who enjoys either of the sports. Now I'm going to cut in some moments of me at different places, and I'll let myself explain where I'm at, but I'll come back in just a second.
Hello, friends. I'm editing right now. The audio quality of me filming at Ellis Island was so poorly recorded due to surrounding noise that I cut out a lot of it. And also, super quick, the image behind me is a picture of me at the Yankee Stadium. And I explained that during the video, but obviously the audio quality made it impossible. So this is me explaining why.
Hello. So this will be the part of the video where I am at historic Ellis Island. We just got back from my tour. We went around the Statue of Liberty. Here's a video of. But today I'm here at Ellis Island.
So we're gonna move into some of the bigger stuff, some of the bigger stories. Right now, our administration is going to close the suicide hotline for the LGBTQ plus benefactory of the suicide hotline, which is just really disheartening. And I mean, there's obviously political reasons why they're doing this, and by political, I mean like bias or personal political views of the reasons why they might want to do this. The statistics behind this are going to be really interesting to see. Um, it is not really something I expected to ever really hear happening, but it shows that, in the time of July of 2022, 1.2 million people that identify part of the LGBTQ plus contacted this hotline. And I just, getting rid of something like this feels silly. All people deserve help, no matter, religion, background, ethnicity, social income, or the way they identify with who they preference as their partners. suicide is a very serious topic. Depression, mental health issues, you should always reach out and get help. And this is a way that people were able to do this. But it's really interesting to see taking away specialists and people who have conversations with these groups of people that, know how to speak about their problems and the things they're going through personally better than somebody who doesn't. Seems just kind of odd. And it's not something I was really excited to see. Obviously, this is very unfortunate. And I just wanted to shout that out as in the news story that this is happening, because this is an important thing to know about. Pardons if you hear the construction going on. I am in New York. I mean, across from me there's a construction construction project. Below me there's a construction project, and next to me there's a construction project. It's quite interesting. So if you hadn't seen already, their No Kings protest is a really cool thing that went on around the United States. This was not just in the city of Ann Arbor, but here in the city of Ann Arbor, we had a really big No Kings protest that happened. I'll slice in video of that right now as I talk over this. But the idea being, this is something that people took to the streets to make it known that we do not want a president who sees himself as a king. You might remember, or you can go back and check it out, the White House and officials Instagram page posted a picture, here it is for those that didn't watch that video, of Donald Trump claiming to be a king of the United States of America, as if the, American Revolutionary War wasn't fought about getting rid of a king. So I went to a smaller No Kings protest that's also in one of my previous videos, and if I can find the video, I'll plug it in. If I can't, you'll be able to figure out which video it is. I think I titled it, I went to a protest, or something of that nature. But this is really unfortunate that we have to protest about this, but what's really cool is the nationwide aspect of this that happened. It went in places like Los Angeles, where they also had the stopping of the ICE, which is the organization of the American government that exists to work on locating and deporting people that are here of illegal immigration. And LA was pretty much on fire recently between the No Kings protest and the stopping of the ICE protest. But we're talking about places like DC, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Detroit, Portland, Louisiana. It was a nationwide thing. This is something you don't see Americans come together on something like this very often. So it is really interesting to see when they do, the reasons why they do so. And it's just a really, really cool thing to see people caring about and actually getting involved in. And I just wanted to make sure that you all knew about this. I would highly suggest finding an article that is from a trusted resource that is easy for you to understand, or maybe read about it with a parent if it's a little confusing about why people are doing this. But seeing people come together in this horde of numbers is absolutely insane. Yeah, right there. Army stopping kings since 1775, winning America's independence from King George in 1776. So, yeah, ICE out of LA was a part of this, like I said. There's just been a lot around both the No Kings protest and the, revolting against ICE, kidnapping people illegally. ICE isn't just getting people for legal reasons. There's people that are being deported right now that are able to prove they are not illegal immigrants, or that they're on visas, or it's just a lot of chaos right now. So it's really cool. Jackson, Wyoming, that's a crazy one I was not ready to see on. You know what I mean? So it's something that I'm really glad our country came together to understand. I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on, Republican, Democratic, apolitical, you name it. We don't need a king. We've never wanted a king. We fought to create this country to not have a king. And I'll stand by that till the day I die. You might have heard me tell you before, nationalism is a person, or a nationalist is somebody who follows their government or their country blindly and thinks they're number one, win it all, we're the best, everyone else isn't. A patriot is somebody who cares about the things their country is doing, the things their country is involved in, and want to make their country a better place for them and for everyone else. And I think the No Kings protest is a lot of Americans showing their patriotic aspects, showing that they truly care to make this place a better place for all. So look into it, friends. It's pretty cool. As you can see, there's a lot of places that participated in this. So it's a new day. Right now I'm at the Natural History Museum, looking at all the different animals and subspecies that are at the collections here. I'm at the 4th floor, which is dinosaurs. I already walked by the Tyrannosaurus Rex and all of the Triceratops and Stegosaurus, all that. I'm more now into the area of early rodents and a few more reptilians. Look at this guy. They're comparing his head to
a football helmet.
So there's another live update for you all. So I was unable to finish that video in the hotel room due to the construction noise, and then I got super busy. It was our final night there when I sat down to finally record the video. So I'm back here today to update you on the story I was going to try to talk about, which at the time was the idea that the United States said it is willing to bomb Iran. At the moment in time, we already bombed Iran, and it has come out that they are unsure if they have left any nuclear missiles or nuclear weapons there after the attacks that we did on Iran. It is also unclear. A lot of things are unclear right now, which is why I prefer to keep this as kind of just a quick update rather than an in-depth breakdown. But we struck 3 times, and it'll be interesting to see how this goes moving forward. This is something that, like I said, is not new. This is a repeat of history.
Do not fall for the pro-war propaganda. This is the same playbook that they used in 2003, so here's a little recap for those of us who were too young to remember it. President Bush's public relations campaign began in September of 2002 when he went in front of the United Nations to warn the world about how Iraq was supposedly building weapons of mass destruction. He even brought Benjamin Netanyahu, yes, that Benjamin Netanyahu, to the UN to tell them that there is, quote,
no question whatsoever that Saddam is seeking and is working towards the development of nuclear weapons.
Bush's claim about weapons of mass destruction was always a lie, and the UN proved it. They passed Resolution 1441, which sent international inspectors into Iraq to investigate whether or not they were developing WMDs. Iraq and Saddam Hussein, their leader, agreed to the inspections, let the inspectors in, and they concluded that Iraq had no weapons of mass destruction. Since the Bush administration had already decided that they wanted to invade Iraq, it didn't matter. All they had to do was convince the American public. So he sent the most trusted member of his administration, Secretary of State Colin Powell, to the UN to give this now infamous testimony, where he held up a scary-looking vial of white powder and presented a bunch of misleading computer-generated images that supposedly proved that Saddam Hussein was harboring al-Qaeda terrorists and building weapons of mass destruction to destroy the West. American media started glazing George Bush and the war effort with magazine covers like this from Vanity Fair, opinion pieces in every major newspaper, and pro-war guests dominating on Fox, CNN, and MSNBC. Democrats like Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer voted with almost every Republican to invade Iraq at a time when 72% of the American public supported this baseless invasion when it started in March of 2003. With all the retrospect, we know that the Iraq war was a complete disaster. We lost thousands of American soldiers and hundreds of thousands of Iraqi civilians, and a war against Iran would be no different. Now we're seeing countless American politicians and media figures saying things like, we cannot allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, but no one has proven that Iran is close to getting one or that they're even trying to develop one. Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying for decades that Iran is on the cusp of developing a nuke, but Trump's own director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, told Congress in March of this year that Iran was not building a nuke. This is a lie campaign being blasted all over our feeds to make it so that you consent to having American troops and treasure being dragged into another endless war in the Middle East.
This is something that has already happened before, so I just wanted to let you know that this happened. I need to do a lot more research over the next few days before I try to comment on this any further. It would not be fair of me. I mean, this is being updated live as of 8 minutes ago. So there's still a lot going on, but I wanted to give you an update. I'm sorry to end this video on such a heavy note, but it's important nonetheless to hear when things are happening in the world around us. But before we leave, I'm not going to end it on that note, but I am going to let us know that right now we are in fact in a heat wave warning. Obviously us being right here. It was hot in New York. It's hot here. Like right now, I mean, it's 88 at 11:44 a.m. It's not even noon, and it's already in 88. It's going to get up to 93. Make sure you're staying hydrated. If you get overheated, go back inside. Don't, risk being exhausted or heat strokes. None of that. But we're going to end it here, friends. Have a wonderful summer. If I don't see you at all during, feel free to email me. Comment in the YouTube comment section. What stories do you know about? What things do you want to hear about? All that type of jazz. But with that being said, friends, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a magnificent summer, and I'll be checking in with you this coming week, because today's Sunday that I'll be posting, so I'll be posting another video technically this week, but it'll feel like next week if you don't follow the Sunday's the first day of the week rule. Adios, friends.